Mikal Bridges is an underrated player for the Phoenix Suns. For his role on the team, he is a star as he embraces and excels in that role. And he just makes winning plays that helps the Phoenix Suns win games. When you think of the Phoenix Suns, you would think of Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton, but Mikal Bridges plays his role on both ends of the floor, fits great with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and he gives you great production. He has been a very important piece for the Phoenix Suns' success, and at the age of 24, his game is still growing. Bridges is the mode of a 3-and-D wing, and this season he has showcased more than just being a 3-and-D guy. He is averaging a career high, close to 14 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2.2 assists on an efficient 53% field goal shooting, 42% three-point percentage, and a close to 84% from the free throw line. He has a true shooting percentage of 66% and an offensive rating of 132.1, which ranks 5th in the league. According to Cleaning the Glass, 35% of Bridges' shots comes at the rim, where he shoots it at a very efficient 75% from there. 44% of Bridges' shots are threes. 24% are corner threes and 20% are non-corner threes. He loves to spot up in the corners, and what I love about his three-point shots is that he is always staying ready in a stance, waiting for a pass to get in rhythm for a three. Bridges attempts close to 5 threes a game for the Suns. Catching and shooting is his main game, and he is shooting 40.7% in those situations. And with the attention that Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and even DeAndre Ayton gets, he benefits a lot off of his teammates driving and kicking when they get inside. Bridges is able to get a lot of his threes wide open, and he has made the defense pay. It is very rare that he has been guarded tight on threes, but what has impressed me about his three-point shooting is how he gets into rhythm and his off-ball movement, and how he is able to make himself available. For example, in transition, Chris Paul drives the ball inside, and Mikal is cutting inside, but he doesn't get a pass from Paul. Okay, Paul is able to command the attention from his man, so Bridges makes himself more available and dashes to the three-point line, which Paul automatically recognizes, and Bridges hops in rhythm for three. And here, Mikal is at the top of the key, passes the ball to Paul. Paul calls for a screen from DeAndre Ayton so that he can get inside to the middle of the court. And had Bridges just stood at the top of the key, this makes it easy for Bridges' man to defend him and even come over and defend Paul too. Bridges spaces out along the wing and gets a pass from Paul where he hops in rhythm for three. And he notices here that his teammate can't pass it inside as the paint gets crowded, and he takes advantage of a confused defense, relocates to the corner, and gets a look for three. And on the drive here, he passes it to Kaminsky on the wing, and he notices that the Hornets defenders are eyeing the Kaminsky drive, so he quickly dashes to the corner for a three. And here on the Booker drive, Booker doesn't quite have a perfect angle to pass it to Bridges in the corner, as Bagley and Barnes can pick it off, so he relocates along the wing area where Booker is able to spot him for a better look for three. And it's not just all threes, but Bridges has shown the ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the defense. Usually when defenses look to close out on him, he will blow by them and get to the rim. He also runs the floor really well in transition, running the floor and making himself available for a pass, or even taking the ball for himself and being a one-man fast break. He ranks in the 90th percentile in transition with a 24% frequency according to NBA stats. He has also shown the ability to be a really good cutter. He isn't going to have a lot of opportunities creating plays with the ball in his hands, but that's okay for him, as he is still able to be effective even without the ball in his hands. He makes the defense pay for being too relaxed defending him. When he's being defended in the corner or along the wing, players would sometimes ball watch and pay Bridges no mind really. It's known that Bridges is a threat as a three-point shooter and not really known for his ability to get the ball and be a threat on ball, so he would get guarded close up, This allows Bridges to take advantage of a relaxed defense on him, and when the offense starts to crack down, he understands when to and when not to cut. And he is so quick as a player. 1 second he is relaxed, really doesn't seem like he's going to be a factor on a play, then boom, he has blown past you and is getting a cut-in layup or a dunk. And it's great having a player who can do this, as it makes the defense work, and there would be constant movement on the court. According to NBA stats, he ranks in the 97th percentile on cuts, finishing his cuts with an efficient 77% field goal percentage, and cutting represents 11% of his offense when attacking the rim. Check how once Chris Paul comes after this handoff, Bridges is able to burn Brandon Ingram cutting to the rim, and he does it again on this play. He's able to just blow by Brandon Ingram and even get to dunk. And he really has great instincts on when to cut, as here he takes advantage of Colin Sexton, who takes his eyes off of Bridges in the corner. And with Tatum here not really paying Bridges any mind, Bridges immediately takes advantage of this as he dashes to the rim for the dunk. He's also a guy who looks to make the extra pass and turn a good shot into a great shot for his team. Bridges has never been a guy where he looks to just score for himself, and even though he isn't known as much as a passer, he has showcased his passing ability and ability to try and look for the open teammate. Bridges is a straight up keeper, and he's a fan favorite for the Phoenix Suns, and that's all deserving of him. He's a quiet, humble, hard worker, and he is the perfect off-ball two-way player that you need on a competing Phoenix Suns team. And every year, the dude has just grown and gotten better ever since entering the league. Now, looking on the other side of the floor, Mikal Bridges is a gifted defender at 6'6", with a 7'1" wingspan and also quick feet, active hands. He has the physical tools to annoy players and the defensive instincts and discipline to keep up with the best offensive players of the game. His rebounding has been an underrated ability of his, as he is always looking to crash the boards and just fight to secure rebounds, whether that be an offensive or defensive rebound. Either way, the man is still hustling over to secure rebounds. Remember how I said players would just ball watch and never pay attention to Bridges? Well, Bridges exploits that on this play as Chris Paul misses this mid-range jumper, but look who cuts in to take advantage of a ball-watching Ben Simmons, and these are winning type plays to secure another possession for his team, and he is able to get to the foul line. A lot of times his high-level defense would lead to easy buckets in transition for him or a teammate, which has been mentioned before as to being his biggest strength. Like here on this play, Bridges is able to pressure Brandon Ingram, closing off that airspace, and Bridges has really good active hands, so when Ingram swings the ball low, that's when Bridges attacks and strips Ingram, who is a young, skilled offensive player, and that defense leads to immediate offense. Bridges would usually guard the best perimeter player on the opposing team, and he is always willing to accept that challenge, which is impressive for a young player like him. And ideally for his on-ball defense, his mindset is to take away that airspace and stick to these guys like glue, as Damian Lillard finds out here on this play. Bridges just pressuring, not going for Lillard's jabs, and just defending Lillard in a wide stance, arms up. And when Damian resets and gets the jump on Bridges, the long arms of Bridges is still in play as he blocks the Lillard shot. And just check how he is able to keep up well with Donovan Mitchell, very skilled scorer, able to cut off Mitchell here and make this shot difficult to finish over Bridges' long arms. And it's not just perimeter players. He can hold his own against bigs, as he is able to switch on Karl Anthony Towns and still stay engaged with him and even stripping him loose. And going up against Paul Millsap in the post, his length just ballers Millsap and is able to get a block on him. And Bridges is always a threat to get a deflection or a steal. He's really good at reading the passing lanes, intercepting passes. Timing is a key factor in playing the passing lanes, and he does it so well as stripping the ball loose from offensive players. He does at times get beat by stronger players, but he does give a lot of effort with guarding all those perimeter guys. Bridges is not perfect. He's going to get beat, but he does have teammates around him to pick up for those mistakes. and he never gets high or low. The Suns are a top defensive team for a reason. They have the personnel, but also they have the system in place for everyone to thrive, and we are seeing Bridges thrive in that Phoenix Suns defensive system.